I can shut down your power grids. I can paralyze your infrastructure. I can access the personal data of everyone in America. I am the enemy with no face, and I can't be stopped.
For every would-be cyber attack, there's a team of U.S. Army cyber warriors who will not be defeated. Find out more at goarmy.com/team.
To understand why the Heyday design is so unique, you need to understand what separates a great wake surfing wave from an average one. Great wake surfing waves have a high, rigid curl. If your wave is soft or short, it directly impacts its ability to sustain a rider and push them forward, which is why wake surfers require no rope once in the surf pocket, a term we'll explain in a moment. This pushing energy is the key and where the Heyday design shines. Most wake surfing boats rely heavily on expensive wake shaping tabs to help create their wakes. The Heyday, however, does this purely with its innovative hull shape and displacement. Displacement, or the amount of the hull that rides below the waterline, determines the height of the wave. To increase the displacement, our standard integrated ballast tanks are filled with water to add weight, and in turn, push more of the boat's hull into the water. Hull shape determines wave shape. The Heyday design has a number of distinct advantages that allow it to create a better wake surfing wave. Strakes. Traditional boats have raised ridges which run along the length of the boat to create lift. They're called lifting strakes. In a wake surfing boat, as you want to push the boat into the water rather than lift it, we design strakes which do the opposite. We call them bailing strakes, as they essentially push or bail water from beneath the boat out to the side of the hull, minimizing the hull's resistance to being pushed down, allowing the Heyday to achieve more displacement. Our unique 117-degree transom angle creates a natural curl in the wave as the water releases from the hull side at different times. At the same time, soft radius transom corners pull the water around on the listed side of the boat. The listed side varies based on whether the rider rides left foot forward or right or goofy foot forward. This creates the wave's curl, also called the surf pocket we referred to earlier. The curl creates push, and the push is where all the fun starts. The wall of water you're looking to create needs to be firm and clean. Some call it the green water, as the water often takes on a greenish hue when in a good curl. Just think clean and green. You'll know it when you see it. The final component is speed control. Riders depend on this to keep the wave consistent from setup to surfing. Our speed control system does an excellent job of this, keeping the boat's speed and in turn your wave as consistent as possible. So now that you know how a Heyday makes a better wake surf wave, start making some of your own. Visit HeydayWakeboats.com to locate a dealer near you for more information.
Every team trains hard. Every team prepares to win. But when U.S. Army soldiers take the field, it's best if the other guys don't bother showing up. See if you have what it takes at GoArmy.com/team.
All right, we're on the live stream. Want to welcome everybody back to Lewisville Lake here in Lewisville, Texas. We're here at the round 3 of the Heyday Pro Watercross National Tour presented by Broward Motorsports. And of course, our live stream, as always, is provided by the city of Charleston, West Virginia. That's one of the most beautiful spots on our tour, as it is here in Lewisville, Texas. I'm Kurt Nolenberg. This is Rosie Baeta. We're ready for the Moto 3s coming up, where we will start to crown our champions for round number 3. Rosie, which race are you looking forward to most?
I think that I am looking most forward to, let's see, there's so many to choose from. I think my favorite would have to be that first race, the Pro-Am Ski GP.
Funny you should say that. That's one of my favorites. I like the Pro-Am Runabout GP as well, the fastest boats on the water. But this Pro-Am Ski GP class, we've got some spectacular riders, incredible machinery. You know, one of the names that keeps coming up over and over and over with the winners of these races is Judge Motorsports. Tell you what, wouldn't be a bad idea to see if we couldn't grab Tim Judge. I think he's here, and talk to him sometime during these Motos number 3.
I'm also seeing a lot of Broward Motorsports coming up on those wins.
Well, I'll tell you what,
times.
Yeah, and obviously with Sam Nemi being a principal there, we saw him win a moto here earlier in the Sport GP class. Obviously, you want to buy your parts from people that know what parts to put into a boat to make it win. Broward Motorsports is definitely the one that you're going to want to talk to. All right, so we're looking for the start of Pro-Am Ski GP any moment. Our riders headed to the line. That band's scheduled to snap in 10 seconds. Our on-water safety crew getting back out there. Rob and Drake getting ready to put it down. I see John Bonkowski there helping to get our scores in place. And our Pro-Am Ski GP riders getting their boats coming to the line. The third and final most gruesome motos starting in any minute here in Lewisville Lake in Lewisville, Texas. All right, we're going to go and call out the lineup. In the number 3Y, he won Moto number 1. He won Moto number 2. Who might that be?
Jimmy Wilson out of Charlotte, North Carolina. With the number 3 boat out of Yakima, Washington. He took 3rd in Moto 1 and Moto 2. Sponsored by Commander RM Fly, Blow Vision, Villian, Jet Trim, Rhino Power, and 360 Fly, David Redinger.
On the number 7 Kawasaki out of Ackworth, Georgia. Sponsored by Kawasaki, Troy Lee Designs, Hydroturf Jet Drive, Quakey Sense, Scat Track, Works, H2O Designs, Oakley, WWR Products, Craig Warner.
On the number 1 ZA boat out of South Africa, sponsored by Rockstar Energy, Commander and Jet Pilot, Dustin Matsuris.
Yeah, Mats and Wilson having their way with those two positions, but Matsuris not able to catch up with Wilson. We're looking for a strong start from Mats this time, as well as Wilson. Maybe we can get those two together and have, just an epic race, an epic battle all race long.
On boat number 51 out of Miramar, Florida, sponsored by Broward Motorsports, Team Mean Racing, Wet Sport Racing, Exotic Signs in Hamilton, David Cabrera.
David Cabrera been putting the pedal to the metal too, as is his next rider on the number 72 out of Mims, Florida on the Kawasaki, sponsored by Hydroturf, Shark Energy, urules.com, Novi Tech, Jet Lift, and Exotic Signs, Johnny Smith.
And on the number 94 boat out of West Harrison, Indiana, sponsored by Factory Yamaha, ETS Racing Fuel, Jet Renew, IPD Graphics, ADA Racing, Hydroturf, Fly Racing and Weisco, Josh Block.
On that 182 Kawasaki, hailing from Macella, Georgia. Sponsored by Central Georgia Power Sports, Spy, ODI Grips, and Rockwell Time, Brock Harris.
On boat number 609, out of New Caney, Texas. Sponsored by Watercross of Texas, Pro Watercraft Racing, Cycle Shack North, and Lynch Signs, Travis Thompson.
On the 777 out of Waco, Texas, riding the Kawasaki, sponsored by Country Power Sports and Jet Pilot, Tim Miller.
And on the number 816 boat out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, sponsored by Utility Block, Pro Watercraft Racing, Leisure Pools, Jet Pilot, Peak Power Sports, IPD Graphics, and Go Fast US, Timothy Warner.
That's a lineup for Pro-Am Ski GP, Moto number 3. We're about ready to begin. The sound of triple two-strokes. Oh, whoa, 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 hold on. We need a stronger holder.
Or a weaker finger.
Well, I'm just going to say, yeah, that's a case of premature acceleration by Craig Warner down there. Yeah, I know there's so much power you can barely hold it back. Craig, glad to see you back on the line. Hope you're feeling better, brother.
So our false starters had to start with a dead engine and a hand on the head. And they're off.
Wow, look at them running there in Pro-Am Ski GP. These boats are on fire out there. Oh, look, there's a surprise. Jimmy Wilson in the lead. Where is Motts? Ah, there he is. Ask and ye shall receive. It's Wilson, Matsuris, Redinger, Brock Harris. Looks like Warner up there in the fifth spot from a dead engine start. He wasn't kidding about the power of that STX 15F, 4-cylinder, 4-stroke. Up and over. Warner had issues before. He makes it up and over. Whoa, look at this. Matsuris all over the back of the tray. And Jimmy Wilson, we're going to have a race here, folks. Wilson making a turn back over. He's going to make the right-hand turn under the back straightaway. Matsuris trying to stay out of his pump wash. He does. He goes outside. He's going to try a sweep if he can catch up at the end of the straightaway. Wilson brilliantly fast. Here comes Matsuris. Wilson, exceptional talent, going to the outside. Mott's going to try the inside. It's early in the race before it gets to Wicked up in there. He's going to try and make a move. I'll tell you what, though, Wilson is just on fire out there. I'm sorry much. Jimmy Wilson will not be headed here. Wilson has got the speed and the position. Here comes Montsaurus. Battle for third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, all together. It's Kevin Redinger, and here comes Craig Warner. Warner in that fourth spot. Warner desperately wants a better finish position to salvage something out of this weekend. Craig Warner, he's out there on that SDX 1500. That's that new 4-stroke, 4-cylinder machine. Heavy, longer boat. Up and over the log jump, and Kevin Redinger, look out, Craig Warner is on your backside. Wilson starting to stretch it out a little bit here. Thank you very much. David Redinger, absolutely. Kevin's his dad, David's the son. He is out there doing a phenomenal job. As we say that, David getting to push back one position.
Yeah, it says it right there in front of you.
Montsaurus on the inside, Wilson on the outside. Wilson on the front straightaway and accelerating away. Montsaurus going to have to hook it up if he wants to stay with them. Warner made that move into third position. David Redinger, my apologies, right up there with the best in the world in that fourth place position. He's trying to catch Warner. And behind him, there comes the 182. That's Brock Harris and the 777 of Tim Miller. I'll tell you what, this whole race is almost within 4 or 5 buoys of each other right now. Wilson out front. There's Montsaurus in second. Warner in third. Redinger in fourth. Harris in fifth. Miller in sixth.
We were talking earlier how those sport machines sounded so mean. These machines sound angry too. They're really, really cranking them out there.
Well, here's the crazy thing. Same engines. They put the triple cylinders. You know, these boats all came with, except for the new, 4-cylinder Kawasaki, of course, came with twin-cylinder 2-strokes, and they've figured out how to wrangle in a triple-cylinder 2-stroke into these stand-ups, and that's where that awesome sound comes from. Across the line, Jimmy Wilson, 2-stroke mounted. Second position, Dustin Montsaurus. Here comes Warner. Craig Warner's starting to reel in the front, too, as they're battling each other. Warner getting an opportunity to start reeling them in little by little, Rosie.
Lucky number 7 just might get lucky and get into that second place spot.
Well, I'll tell you what, Warner each time now has got to slow down, really take his time over that log jump. That newer machine, longer hull, more weight, not as easy to get open over the log jump as it is with these triple cylinder 2-strokes.
Little harder to bunny hop when you're on a bigger machine.
Right, exactly. It's all about physics. All right, so top 3 all in the split course now. Go to the other side. David Redinger's trying to pull away for the rest of the pack. It's Wilson in front, and boy, Montsaurus, he is attacking that inside section of the course, doing everything he can to just reel in Jimmy Wilson. And I'll tell you what, here's the problem. When Wilson gets on that back straightaway, he's able to walk away a little bit every time. Look at this. This is going to be the 4th lap. We're getting into lap traffic already. Oh, look at this. Montsaurus came in at that log jump at speed. I thought he was going to blitz that thing. Discretion, the better part of value. He backed out. But we've got 2 lap riders in front of our leaders. Lap rider slowing down to let our leaders go by. Great sportsmanship there. Wilson up. Here comes Motts.
Mats looks like he's clamping it down. He seems like he's gained on him a little bit on that back stretch.
That time through, he did. You know, it's funny. You can watch Mats attack this inside course. Watch how he throws that machine over. When it comes down, makes that hard right, and then bam, that hard left, hard right, hard left again. Wilson this time was on fire out there. He's going to gain some ground. And look up, who's coming, who's knocking on their back door? Craig Warner. All right, both of our leaders up and over the log jump. Here comes Warner. The problem is Warner knows he's got to be fast over that log jump to be competitive. But boy, the way he got slammed yesterday, ooh, that was not looking good. Seems to have no issues now, though. I'll tell you what, that's a strong third place position. We got a long race, and we're starting to pull up on more lapped riders. Jimmy Wilson, end of the back straightaway. Behind him, Dustin Matsouras, lapped rider in the way. Now the lapped rider's going the outside, and Wilson's going to the inside. Where's Spots going to go? He's going to attack the outside. Wilson is on fire on the inside. Look at him attack those buoys. Throwing that boat over sideways. Matsouras going to come up. The lapped rider moves over, and they're side by side.
Yeah, that's where you can see that the lapped riders really come into play.
They do. You know, one of the funny things I was just watching here, when you come off of the outside section of the split course, you have a longer distance to go. That seems like a negative. Here's the positive. You also get a longer distance to continue to accelerate. So when you get over to the far right-hand side of the track, you got a little bit, a few more miles per hour going in your boat. So you start to reel them in right at the last second at the end of the straightaway.
And you also don't have to make as sharp a turn on that last buoy coming off of the split.
Exactly. All right, leaders up and over the log jump. They're gone. Here comes Wilson with Matsouras in tow onto the back straightaway. Craig Warner has a lapper in front of him. He wants to move by. That lapper is down, letting him by. Fantastic. It's Wilson, Matsouras, Warner, all three on the back straightaway, I was going to say, but Warner just barely get there as those two get off and make the decisions.
Looks like they're back to their old favorites. We have Matsouras on the inside, Warner on the outside.
And as always, both of these riders are so good. We're looking for the smallest mistake, the smallest little error for them to make so that the competitor can move up.
Oh, it's Wilson. Wilson and
Matsouras.
Wilson and Matsouras.
Here they go, once more time. Wilson up and over the log jump cleanly. Mats up and over. Little shadow there, but he is up and running. Lots of lapped riders coming up. Jimmy Wilson can either extend his lead or give it up, depending on how he goes through traffic. Wilson, lots of experience, but with lapped riders, you never know. And when you're stacking them 3, 4 at a time, it can make the water difficult. Sometimes you can't help but what's going to happen. Right now, Matsouras chasing down Wilson. And those two, frankly, moving away from Craig Warner. Warner having issues over there on the far right-hand side. I'm thinking physically he's really, it's doing everything he can to stay on that boat right now. Wilson on the outside, Matsouras on the inside, lappers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lappers in front of them.
Yeah, when we have these fuller classes, these fuller motos, they chop it up a bit more than when we have the smaller motos.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. We haven't even seen the cross flags yet, and they're into lap 20. We are talking about the best of the best, the finest riders on the planet right here. Wilson, Matsouras, Warner, Redinger. right, I'm going to help you out. Out on the far left-hand side, here comes Jimmy Wilson. Boy, Matsouras has closed it up. Those lap riders have helped out. Lap riders on the outside, none on the inside. Mats has a clear throw, but as we were talking about earlier, Rosie, look how rough it is on the inside. Wilson has a lap rider, none in front of Mats. Is he going to be able to catch him? Wilson looks over, there's Mats. They're looking eye to eye as they come out of the splits. Lap riders, oh, I'll tell you what, Rosie, this log jump is going to be crucial, critical, important, epic. What can you say? Give me an adjective.
It gets very, very, very interesting when they have lap riders, log jump, everybody so close together. It could be anybody's game at this point.
Wilson up and over, as is Matsouras, 2 lap riders, so they've gone through about 4 on that lap, 2 more to go. Wilson starting to accelerate away. I'll tell you what, in the short straights between these buoys, Wilson seems to have a little advantage. On the long back straightaway, they're equal, maybe a little nod to knots, but maybe not. But boy, I'll tell you what, when they start squirting from buoy to buoy, Wilson seems to have a little bit of an advantage. And here comes Matsouras trying to make a move. Lap rider in front of Wilson. Rougher water. Mats putting his elbows in the water at the end of the back straightaway. Dustin Matsouras is putting that boat sideways at 60 plus miles an hour and dragging his elbow. He wants to catch up with Jimmy Wilson. Now Matsouras, he decided to get behind those lapped riders on the outside. Oh, and it's hurt him. It has hurt him. Lapped rider doesn't see Wilson on the left. Oh, no. Jimmy Wilson has got an issue with that boat. No, he doesn't. He had just won the race. So I'm so focused on watching that race between them. Didn't see Norm Yee bring out the checkered flag. Folks, what a round of applause. What a great race. Jimmy Wilson, Dustin Matsouras, David Renninger. Wow, what a race, huh?
Beautiful day here at round 3 of the 2017 Heyday Pro Watercross National Tour. Sponsored by Heyday Wakeboards, powered by Mercury, Broward Motorsports, Shark Energy, U.S. Army, Yamaha, Sea-Doo, Jet Trim, Scat Track, Watcon.com, and HydroTurf. Live web streaming brought to you by Charleston, West Virginia. Special thanks to our local sponsors, the Lewisville Convention and Visitors Bureau, Deep Roots, Broad Wings, Bright Future, and the U.S. Army Lewisville Recruiting Station.
Boy, I want to really put a... Check. Just wanted to give a big shout out to the U.S. Army Recruiting Center. They hooked us up with some prize swag we're going to be using on the way home and for the rest of the tour. Thank you so much. On the line, Race 16 Pro-Am Runabout GP. The most powerful craft on the water, and there they go. Jeff Dykowski, second in Moto 1, fourth in Moto 2. He wants to move up. Claude, CC Ryder Clayton, fifth in Moto 1, first in Moto 2. Those two are tied on points. On the 151 machine, Corey Hyman, he has a first and a second. He's in the points lead. There's CC Ryder. There's Corey Hyman, Jeff Dykowski, and then Dylan Osborne. So CC Ryder, Claude Clayton out in front, but Corey Hyman, as he was in the last moto, in second position. Corey Hyman, if they finish that way, would win the overall for today with a total of 5 points. Of course, everything is officially unofficial until you check the pit board, and this is only the first lap of the race. Let's see how it goes. Wow, I'll tell you what, Claude Clayton Did you tell me how? Oh, no. That was sorry, I was thinking he was 58 years old. I'm like, man, hold on to one of these crafts. Look at the speed. That thing is just brutally fast.
Our number 8 boat, Jeff Dykowski.
Yeah.
He's 58.
Right. No, Dykowski. But I was just checking. Claude Clayton, another Judge Motorsports powered machine. Look at the speed of this thing. Really, Rosie, watch him as they get on the back straightaway. Look at the lead he's got already. Watch, he opens it up. That thing shoots forward. Look at the wake that's coming off of it.
And if he continues to ride flawlessly, he's just going to keep continuing that lead because he has nothing but smooth water in front of him.
I'll tell you what, look at the difference between the two boats. Corey Hyman, great rider, no question. But if you watch the attitude of the boat on the back straightaway, Corey Hyman's boat, porpoising just a little, not really sticking to the metal or sticking to the water. But CC Rider, Claude Clayton, man, that machine is hooking up and going. It is doing nothing but hitting and getting. And that's not exactly what I want to say. Corey Hyman. There's Jeff Dykowski, and Dykowski right there behind Hyman. Dylan Osborne, the Groveland, Florida rider, trying to move up. Boy, he put out a lot of effort in that last moto. He's going to have to do the same if he's going to catch up with these guys. Look at this boat. We have got a half a lap lead by CC Rider, Claude Clayton right now. 1/2 of a lap. That is spectacular. And look at this. Corey Hyman is pulling away from Dykowski and Osborne as well. You see that thing jump forward? Yeah, when the other boats aren't here and you can hear it, you hear that thing spool up and literally just leap forward. Crazy amount of horsepower under the hood.
You can hear Corey Hyman has a nice cheering section down there. Every time he comes around, he's getting lots of cheers from his fan club down there on shore.
Is that his mom? You know, we're used to moms yelling and screaming like that. But Corey's 40 years old. I'm afraid you're going to have a heart attack if she's yelling like that. You know what? This is a family sport, even at this top level. As we watch Claude Clayton go by, it's still a family sport. You see entire families under the tents in the pits supporting one rider, right?
Absolutely. And then they pass that torch on. Once they're less competitive, they pass the torch to their children and let them take the number 1 spot.
Yeah, you know, I mean, these guys are all athletes, and you got to figure people under the tent, they're, what would you call them? Athletic supporters. Dun-dun-dun. Having said that, far right-hand side, Corey Hyman doing everything he can to distance himself from everybody behind because, let's face it, nobody's catching Claude Clayton unless he makes a serious error or has a mechanical. Clayton, he is going to be in a position to lap potentially up to second place right now.
Now, if you're looking at Moto 1, Moto 2, Moto 1, Claude Clayton got 5th.
That's correct.
Moto 2, he got 1st. If you look at Corey Hyman, Moto 1, he was 1st. Moto 2, he was 2nd. So, adding up the points.
Oh, yeah, no, Hyman has got a great opportunity to win this overall if he stays in the second position. That would be a total of 5 points. Clayton would have 7. Certainly the nod would go to Hyman. But in this kind of racing, you never can tell what's going to happen.
You just never know.
Speaking of never knowing, one thing I do know, race 17 up next is Sport GP. You guys can start getting ready to come down to the line. Love to see Sam Nemi, Keith Dill, Michael Osborne, Johnny Smith, Wyatt Hayes, Billy Dearman, and Eric Gabriel on the line. Halfway flags are out, Rosie.
Halfway there.
Oh, no.
Living on a prayer.
Okay. So, no offense, where's Caitlin?
They're not going to be begging me to join Neighborhood Nuisance anytime soon. Unless, of course, I play the cowbell.
Yeah, more cowbell, more cowbell. All right, here comes Hyman one more time. Cross flags are out for the rest of our competitors. Out front, Clyde Clayton. Getting ready to start lapping into the field here. I'm going to tell you, it wouldn't surprise me if our leader didn't start lapping riders within the next 2 laps.
Yes, not to take anything away from the other riders because they are out there screaming as well, but he is just in a whole nother game.
I'll tell you what, that Judge Motorsports machine is just, I mean, literally, I can't help but laugh. It's ridiculously fast. Now, it's not all machine, obviously. Clyde Clayton, CC rider, putting the pedal to the metal. He's the man controlling that beast. Big shout out to Sea-Doo, Judge Motorsports, Oakley, and Giant Bikes for assisting Claude Clayton. Boy, Corey Hyman going off. Oh, and Hyman is just pulling away from everybody on the far right-hand side. I know. Welcome to the world of announcing. Just kidding, Mom. Corey's doing fine. As is Claude Clayton. Wow. All right, here it comes. He's going to start. Look out, Dylan Osborne. Here's something that Dylan Osborne's not used to, getting lapped in a Pro-Am Runabout GP class. And Dylan Osborne is no slowpoke, believe me. Claude Clayton, I'm telling you, by the end of this split course, he is going to be lapping into the field.
Doesn't happen too often, but you know when it does that someone is on fire, riding really well, and their machine is just dialed in.
All right, here they come. Yeah, Clayton. So Clayton, I think he's going to pick and choose his place where he wants to pass. He could have dove to the inside and really forced that, but he knows he's going to be going through the pack, so he's going to take his time as he should. God, that boat just leaps forward. It really does. It just scoots, and then, I mean, even when it's accelerating, all of a sudden it hits another boost point. I don't know, and it jumps forward even more. Well, look out, Dylan Osborne, because CC Ryder is right behind you. Here comes Corey Hyman. Jeff Dykowski, I'll tell you what, as good as Hyman is, Dykowski has been right there the whole race. Here it comes. This is what we were talking about. Yeah, Clayton, slowing it down. You want to come through at 90 miles an hour and smack into the back of Osborne. Uh-oh. Sport boats coming to the line. Oh, yeah. Johnny Smith bringing that yellow weapon to the line. Look at the teeth on that thing. You see that on the side of Johnny Smith's? It's a shark's mouth. Great graphics on some of these boats. And folks, if you've never been to a personal watercraft race before, you're here in Lewisville, come on over. You can talk to the riders in the pits. They'd be happy to tell you a little bit about their boats, what it took to get going racing, give us some good advice. Of course, part of that advice is always going to be start at Broward Motorsports, right?
Absolutely. Join the team. Or you could be a holder.
Yes, you could. Even the silent whistle of that boat is ridiculously menacing. So at this point, Claude Clayton has just backed out. He's like, you know what? I'm going to save the boat, save the fuel. Let's just take our time. Enjoy beautiful Lewisville Lake while I can.
And it is beautiful.
He's waving to the course marshals, Claude Clayton is. Here comes Corey Hyman once again. Well, I'll tell you what, Jeff Dykowski is in full-on attack mode. Corey Hyman looks like he's starting to get a little tired out there. Starting to watch those arms droop. Hyman better look out because Jeff Dykowski doesn't want to stay where he's at. Hyman making the turn onto the back straightaway, on the front straightaway. CC Ryder getting the white flag. 1 lap to go for that 114 machine of Claude Clayton out of Tupelo, Mississippi. Sponsored by Judge Motorsports, Sea-Doo, Oakley Giant Bikes. Boy, a great selection of sponsors to have. All right, Hyman.
Final stretch of that last lap. Down on the line we have Sport GP getting ready to go.
Love the sound of those two-stroke triples. Mic off. Checker flag for Corey Hyman in that second spot. Jeff Dykowski in third. And, of course, CC Ryder showing off that Judge Motorsports powered boat.
Yep, he's giving his baby a pat on the back there, getting him through that race in flying colors.
Got to love it. Dylan Osborne going to complete our Pro-Am Runabout GP Motor number 3. Up next, Sport GP on the number 1 machine out of Cooper City, Florida. On the Yamaha, sponsored by Broward Motorsports, Judge Motorsports, Exotic Signs, Shoei, Jet Pilot, Hamilton's, I Saw, Jet Lift, and Jet Trim, Sam Nemi.
On boat number 14 out of Naples, Florida, sponsored by Wade Chapin Performance, Broward Motorsports, Exotic Signs, Hamilton's Customs, and I Saw Cameras, Keith Dill.
Just want to tell you it's cheap. On the number 43 machine out of St. Petersburg, Florida, sponsored by Judge Motorsports, Jersey Mike Subs, Bullet Racing, Skella Motorsports, and Wade Chapin Performance, Michael Osborne. Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Number 72 out of Mims, Florida, sponsored by HydroTurf, Shark Energy, uRules.com, Novi Tech, Jet Lift, and Exotic Signs, Johnny Smith.
All right, we're going to get a hold here, try and get another boat going on the number 86 machine out of Dawsonville, Georgia, the Yamaha, sponsored by Lucas Oil, Jet Pilot, Jet Trim, Reva Racing, Jet Dynamics, Rhino Power, Extreme Throttle, and IPD Graphics, Wyatt Hayes.
On boat number 111 out of Madison, Mississippi, Billy Dearman.
Uh-oh. Just as you say his name, little case of premature acceleration, Billy Dearman.
And on boat number 130 out of Allentown, Michigan, sponsored by Reva Racing, Dees Marine, Jet Trim, Hamilton's, and BP Designs, Eric Gabriel.
go through the whole list real quick.
Every team trains hard. Every team prepares to win. But when U.S. Army soldiers take the field, it's best if the other guys don't bother showing up. See if you have what it takes at GoArmy.com/team.
And we start them up again for the 2017 Heyday Wake Boats Pro Watercross Tour in Lewisville, Texas. And they are off. Inside, outside, who will it be?
Oh, that'll help. Sam Nemi in the lead on the inside.
Sam Nemi in the lead on the inside.
Looks like Billy Dearman on the outside. No. Nemi looks over. Look who's coming from the outside. Keith Dill. Keith Dill got Michael Osborne right behind him. Look at this side-by-side action. Whoa!
Someone's down. Careful, careful.
Oh! Wow, I'll tell you what, that's why they call this the pro class. These riders are coming at a rider side by side at 60 plus miles an hour, and they split to go around his helmet. Wow. Yeah, and I believe that is the 43 of Michael Osborne. No sooner do I say his name than he's sampling the water here. And yes, families, you can pay me not to say his name.
But he got a tow, he's getting back on, and he's joining the race again.
I'll tell you what, very impressive. Let's see, that was Eric Gabriel, and I think it might have been Johnny Smith or Wyatt Hayes, were side by side, and they just split right around that downed rider. That was phenomenal work on their part. Sam Nemi with the lead, getting the yellow flag, but it's pretty clear. Looks over to see, everything's fine. He's wide open. All right. Keith Dill, second spot, and third. Yeah, there he is again. Johnny Smith. These three always at the front. Was that Eric Gabriel or Gabriel?
I think that was Eric Gabriel.
And Dearman back. He got pushed back. Wow, that's crazy. I'll tell you what, Eric Gabriel, I got a feeling he's not going to settle for fourth place position with that HX. He's going to hook it up. Sam Nemi has been brilliant today. He really has.
Multiple races, too.
Well, yeah, he's got a first and a first. Can't get much better than that. So I don't know that happened with Keith Dill, but all right, so Sam Nemi had a penalty. He had to go around the penalty buoy. That gave Keith Dill the opportunity to move forward, but Nemi already in full-on attack position. Look at Nemi start to reel in Dill.
Dill's better be on his game now, because if he isn't, Nemi is going to go ahead and take back that first place position.
And look who's in fourth now, Eric Gabriel. I told you he's going to move up. Johnny Smith, look out. Eric Gabriel is knocking on your back door. Dill, look at Dill extend his lead there on the back straightaway. He got a great drive.
Looks like both Dill and Nemi are going to take that outside of the track, as is Johnny Smith. They look to all be favoring that side of the track for the sport class.
I think in this class they figured out that you need the longer straightaway. It's more effective even if you have to go a greater distance.
Well, when you're running the Grand Prix, you want to be able to open her up as much as possible, and there's the good opportunity right there.
Well, I tell you what, I was calling out Eric Gabriel, but Billy Dearman, he's a man possessed out there. Dearman is. Nemi trying to catch up, get in a position to get in the clean water. Away from Keith Dill, trying to reel him in. Ooh, he got a good jump this time. Look at that, they're bouncing on the back straightaway. It's getting really rough out there, Rosie.
Yeah, and Dill seems to be handling it pretty well. He had it hooked up nearly the whole way on that back straight.
Yeah, we can't see the rollers that are out there and the troughs that will exist, but believe me, late in a race like this, it certainly happens. All right, Nemi following Dill on the outside section of the split. Those two going at it in third. Yeah, it's still Johnny Smith. And Billy Dearman made the move and got by Eric Gabriel. Wow, Billy Dearman starting to really pull out all the stops. Listen to that bone. That Billy Dearman is definitely putting it all out there right now. It's Dill, Nemi, Smith. Boy, every time on the back straightaway, Keith Dill seems to get a great drive. I'm thinking Sam Nemi's going to have to change his line because it's, well, and then the reality is, and I'm sure Sam Nemi knows this, he's an experienced racer. He's got 2 firsts. If he finishes the second, he's going to win.
It's all a numbers game at this point.
It is. It's all about the higher math.
Halfway through the race, we have our halfway flags up.
That would be 1//2, right? Halfway?
Absolutely.
See? I know that new math. Dill and Nemi just putting on a battle. Johnny Smith would love to jump in the fray and play, but I don't think see that happening. You know what I do see happening? Billy Dearman knocking on Johnny's back door. Wait a minute, that didn't sound right.
And they have plenty of laps to go, so he has time to catch up and attempt to pass.
Remember, all these pro classes, it's 12 minutes plus a lap. And we just got the 6-minute sign, so there's plenty of racing left. Will this sound familiar? Sam Nemi in second position, hanging right in there, but not right challenging, waiting for a mistake.
Sounds like a little deja vu.
Yeah, all over again.
Dill is definitely picking up some space, though. He's a whole buoy length away at this point.
Boy, Dearman really starting to reel in Johnny Smith now, Rose.
Yeah, Dearman's definitely putting on the heat, and I think Johnny Smith is realizing that he needs to be as flawless as possible. On the back. Looks like Johnny Smith is continuing in third. I believe Dearman had a little bobble back there, but he's back up. Keith Dill coming up to a lapped rider. We have the lap flag out. He's moving to the side. Nice sportsmanship by Michael Osborne, moving over for our leaders. Hearing some Crazy sounds coming out of Johnny Smith's boat. And Dearman trying to make up some ground. And on the back, both Dill and Nemi got past that lapped rider, holding their positions. Coming round the front, we have Keith Dill in the first place position. Sam Nemi, he is in second place position. Johnny Smith coming around in third. We have Billy Dearman, fourth place. And Eric Gabriel, fifth.
Check, check, double check, checking it out. Keith Dill extending his lead. Sam Nemi at this point, I think, content to be back in that second position. Look at the battle raging, though. Johnny Smith and Michael Osborne going to town. Now, Osborne, I believe, a lap down. So it's Billy Dearman trying to make a move up there.
We have a Pro-Am ski stock will be the next race coming up after Sport Grand Prix.
All right, Heartbeat of America right there. White flag out, one lap to go. Keith Dill out in front, riding a great race today. Another great race, I should say. Dill's been on fire all weekend. Of course, Sam Nemi putting the pedal to the metal. He had to take that penalty, boy. He realizes he has the overall if he just stays comfortable in that second slot, so he's comfortable staying there. Third spot, Billy Dearman, and Dearman really had to work to come up.
He must have made the move on Johnny Smith.
He did. Oh, Smith looking down at his boat.
I thought that it sounded strange a couple of laps ago.
Yeah, so what's probably happened, just to be honest, is an exhaust leak for Johnny Smith.
Eric Gabriel pulling in on behind him.
Yeah, Eric Gabriel on that C2HX. Folks, he's worked hard for it as he comes around. Everybody put your hands together for Keith Dill, your Moto 3 winner. Keith looks back, sees Sam Nemi. Make sure his buddy is okay. He is. Sam Nemi coming across the line. He's going to win the overall today. Gotta love it. Another Broward Motorsports sponsored machine.
Billy Dearman He made up a lot of ground that race.
Well, I'll tell you, if they had another 30 laps, he might have been up there with them.
Eric Gabriel and Johnny Smith.
Michael Osborne able to remount and back out. And the end of the field. Up next is a Pro-Am ski stock. Oh, man. Guess who? If I said he came from Charlotte, North Carolina, was 28 years old, and rode for Judge Motorsports, who would you be thinking I'd be talking about?
Well, the initials JW come to mind.
John Wall? No, Jimmy Wilson. He's sponsored by Judge Motorsports, Hidden Trails Motorsports, Broward Motorsports, IPD Graphics, and Fly Racing. Jimmy Wilson out of Charlotte, North Carolina.
On boat number 51 out of Miramar, Florida.
Sneezy for you to slay.
Achoo! Sponsored by Broward Motorsports, Team Mean Racing, Wet Sport Racing, Exotic Signs, and Whamilton, David Cabrera.
On the number 81 machine out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, Kawasaki Mounted, sponsored by Hydrotech. Sound Pony, Third Bank, Pro Watercraft, Performance Watercraft, and T-Town Bicycles, Gene Daniel.
And moving from 114 to boat 295, joining Team Pink. Sponsored by 321 Kawasaki, Jet Trim, Pro Watercraft, Judge Motorsports, Hurricane Racing, Abaco Sunglasses, IPD, and Fly from Andover, Kansas, AJ Lewinstra.
On the number 117 machine out of Pottsboro, Texas, self-sponsored Tony Conklin.
And on 417 from Pensacola, Florida, sponsored by Jet Trim, Scat Track, Rias Products, Pensacola Motorsports, Brett Underhill.
All right, we got some Underhill fans out there. That's the lineup. Pro-Am ski stock, moto number 3 on the line. Now let's take a look. Jimmy Wilson has a second and a first. That's 3 points. David Cabrera has a first and a fourth. That's 5 points. Gene Daniel has a third and a second. That's also 5 points. Everybody else is pretty much out of it as far as the overall, unless something really crazy happens.
So between Cabrera and Daniel, since they both have 5 points, this moto number 3 will determine the winner, whoever ends up with the least amount of points.
All I can say is if you're David Cabrera or Gene Daniel, you're hoping that AJ Lewinstra is back in fourth spot with Jimmy Wilson behind him, because that's about the only way we can mathematically even have a chance.
Jimmy Wilson with the pole position over there on the inside course. We have Gene Daniel with the pole position on the outside course.
Normie says, fire them up, folks. Here we go. Pro-Am ski stock. Boy, you can hear that hydrospace, but watch Jimmy Wilson on that SXR 1500. He looks over, makes sure nobody's going to try and take him out. Goes inside. Wilson with the whole shot on the inside. And I'm pretty sure that's Cabrera with the whole shot on the outside. Wilson goes down, but retains the lead on the inside. That's going to open it up for everybody on the outside for certain. Just by the sound, I think that's Cabrera. Oh, and Wilson able to bring it back. They're going to go side by side. Cabrera and Wilson have been like this all race long. Cabrera, I'll tell you what. It takes class and good racing skills as well as a modicum of friendship to be able to ride that close together.
It looks like Gene Daniel is in the third place spot.
Whoa, Cabrera up and over that log jump. Here comes Wilson. Boy, Cabrera just really on fire here today. Whoa, look at Wilson making the move around Cabrera.
He's turning on the heat.
Couldn't make it stick there. And here's the thing, Wilson knows if he's in second and Cabrera's in first, he's going to win the overall. So that gives him a little bit of a safety net not to have to try and push out too hard. I hate to say this, but looks to me like Jimmy Wilson has a steering problem.
I think you're right.
Yep. Yep. Wilson's got to get that boat back to shore, see if they can reattach that steering cable. Maybe he was able to pop it on right there. He knows what's wrong.
Okay, so we have Cabrera, Daniel.
Yeah, you can see Jimmy Wilson, no way to steer that boat. His crew going to grab it, see what they can do. Maybe that thing popped off the bottom at the back. That would be the easy way.
On the back straight, Cabrera pulling away from everybody.
Yeah, Jimmy's trying to make the left-hand turn by dragging that left foot. It's not safe. We got to get him off of there. He could really tear some bad stuff in his legs if he tries to do that for the whole race. How would I know? I've seen it done before. Here comes Cabrera. Now Cabrera way out front. Without Wilson to bother him, he is certainly going to take his time.
Gene Daniel coming in next in the second place position.
That's right. Then the is that Brett Underhill? I think it must be.
That is Brett Underhill. Followed by AJ Lewinstra on the 295 pink boat.
Yeah.
The pink sparkle bass boat.
Yeah, well, you know, the Skeletons jumped in there and lent him a boat. How, you know what? Gotta love this sport.
Absolutely. Everybody is very, very helpful when one of our fellow riders needs a hand.
Yeah, Jimmy Wilson looking a little dejected coming back, but you know, sometimes the mechanics can't keep up. Yeah.
We have Tony Conklin.
Jimmy's looking over. It's like, dude, I've got a left leg. I can make a turn.
It's called the leg drag.
Cabrera now way out in front. David Cabrera, talking about a dream situation for him, because no matter what he did, he couldn't have won that race if Wilson finished right behind him. Now, all he's got to do is stay upright, and he certainly will get the overall here today. That'll help him in the overall points for the series. Yeah, we'd like to see race number 19. Pro-Am runabout box stop. Jeff Dykowski, Troy Snyder, and Dylan Osborne to the line. Our final moto of the day, and boy, Cabrera goes up and comes off of that log jump hard.
Well, he has the strength to do it. I went and talked to David Cabrera right after that moto number 2. And I tell you what, he is in good shape. You can tell he definitely does some cross training, and riding these skis like this at these top speeds really, really gets you in great conditioning.
I guess, but you didn't have to stare at him for quite that long, I'm saying. making us a little uncomfortable. All right, David Cabrera out front. This race in hand, if he can just stay upright. Yes. Cabrera taking the outside one more time. And boy, you can see it. Cabrera taking advantage. He's stepping up, stretching out his back. Here's the problem with that. When you're in a full-on attack mode, your body's reacting at warp speed. When you back out sometimes, it fools you. All of a sudden, you're off balance and you're not in your normal attack mode. So I hope that doesn't happen. Cabrera got this well in hand right now.
Gene Daniel, though, seems to be keeping it strong. He may be able to reel him in a little more. We're only at the halfway point.
Well, Daniel has 5 points. Behind him, Brett Underhill has 8 points. So Gene Daniel's in a pretty good position. Now, let's see. So Jimmy Wilson will get 6th. That'll give him 7 points total.
Now Cabrera and Daniel have 5 points each. This could get very interesting.
Right. Well, as long as Cabrera stays in front, he'll finish with 6. And Daniel would finish with 7. And Daniel, so that would put, let's see, 10, 11, 8. That would put Jimmy Wilson in 3rd position for the race weekend in this class.
See, I told them that you could add.
Yeah.
Good job.
Hey, I got fingers and toes. Cabrera, far left-hand side of the course, circulating. Gene Daniel behind him. It's almost a procession now. Folks, we want to put a big shout out to the whole city of Lewisville. Thank you so much for your hospitality. Lewisville Lake, what a great spot to be at. Remember, when the races are over, we'll have some awards. Make certain that you sign up for that television at Heyday, because you're going to be giving that television away at the end of today's event. You must be present to win. Our thanks, as always, go out to the U.S. Army. Thanks for everything you do, not only sponsoring us, but for keeping our country safe. Thank you so much.
And they have a recruiting station right here in Lewisville.
Yeah, make it easy to move ahead. As I'm watching our volunteers help out, thank you so much.
Having some bobbles over here on the right side of the course. I saw someone having a little trouble over the log jump. Then another rider had a bobble. Generating a little excitement down there on the beach.
All right, Troy Conklin out of Pottsboro, Texas. He's coming by. He's clean. Here comes Cabrera, and Daniel starting to move up. And I got to say, as usual, as you look down beneath us, Dylan Osborne, always one of the first ones to the line in that pro in any class.
It's good to be prepared.
He's got his boat down there. He's ready to go. A.J. Lewenstra on that unfamiliar machine starting to move up. Lewenstra wants to give Brent Underhill a little bit of a push. A.J. Lewenstra starting to chase down Brett Underhill. Brett Underhill better look out because A.J. Lewenstra is coming right behind him. Far left-hand side. There's Cabrera. Oh, and Cabrera goes down. Oh, no. What is going on?
I think he's having to put that lanyard back in before he can start it up.
Right you are. Good eyes.
Looks like Gene Daniel got by him. So now we have Gene Daniel, then David Cabrera.
Yeah, that would give Daniel the overall. If Gene Daniel can stay out front, folks, the points are close enough. He will get the overall, and Cabrera will be second, and Andy Case Wilson will be third.
Now you got to tell me
unofficially.
When Cabrera comes back by, I could swear that I see something off the back of his boat.
Fine, RENO. Bumper.
Oh, his bumper. Okay, thank you. I thought I saw something. Didn't know if it was my old eyes or
No. He's
really there.
fishing while he's out there. It's just a boom for his fishing. Well, wow, what attrition we've had, what changes in the numbers, and what's crazy is it almost didn't matter. It's going to matter for Gene Daniel, though, because if he can stay out front of Michael Cabrera, he's going to win the overall for the day. Oh, rider down. Yeah, that was Tony Conklin, I believe, that went down, and Daniel goes by. There goes by Cabrera. Oh, and Brett Underhill has got some company. Underhill to the outside.
White flag is out. You know, at this point in the races, this point in the weekend, our riders are starting to get tired. They're on their last lap. They just got to hold it together for this final lap.
Watch over here, AJ Lewisville making the move. He and Underhill side by side. White flag out. It's the last lap. Underhill trying to stay up. Here comes Lewisville. AJ Lewisville all over the back of Brett Underhill. They go to the far side of the course. Oh, and Underhill going to try and make a move. That is Troy Conklin there. Boy, it's going to be crazy this time on the log jump. Look out, Brett Underhill. Here comes AJ Lewisville. Well, I'll tell you what. Gene Daniel better wake it up because Michael Cabrera is on fire. David Cabrera is on fire trying to catch him. Look at the speed of Cabrera on that back straightaway. This is going to be it, folks. Daniel and Cabrera going for the overall win today in this set of
one out, one in. One out, one in. Who will come out ahead?
Well, I'll tell you what, Daniel's got a great lead coming in there. Here comes Cabrera. Daniel's just got to make it smooth going through. Here comes Cabrera and Gene Daniel. Put your hands together, folks. He wins this race, and he will be your overall winner for the weekend. Second position, David Cabrera. Great rides. He'll finish up second overall. Jimmy Wilson will claim that third spot. Brett Underhill in the fourth spot. Third in this moto, of course. In the fourth spot, AJ Lewisville.
I'm just mesmerized by that pretty pink boat. And Tony Conklin finishing up on boat
fourth
117.
overall for the day. Calm down, Mom. We got it. Man, I love that kind of support. There is nothing like that kind of enthusiasm. When you're out there racing and you know you've got fans supporting you like that, seriously, it pushes you forward.
Well, there's no one like Mom. You only get one.
That's right. No matter how much money you have. No. Can I rent your mom, Brett? No. All right, final race of the day. Pro-Am Runabout Box Stock on the rate machine out of Rydell, Georgia, Jeff Dykowski. Oh, we got a little issue on the far right-hand side. Need a little help to get that thing going. Troy Snyder having an issue. All right, little confusion down on the line. Hey, this is the third and final moto. It's important. They want to get it right. Troy Snyder, been working on that boat all day. Wants to get a good drive off this one. And they're off.
Jeff Dykowski, Troy Snyder, and Dylan Osborne off the line. Let's see who comes in first.
Dykowski's got the inside split right now. Of course, Snyder by himself on the outside. He's got clean water. Osborne, whoa, getting way offline. Here comes Dykowski. Look at Snyder on the outside. Oh, Dykowski sticks it. That's going to give Troy Snyder the whole shot. No doubt it. Snyder finally out front this weekend with nobody in front of him. Looks like that boat is hooking up. He's had issues with that thing, and it is flying now. It's Snyder, Dykowski, and Osborne.
Oh, getting close out there between Dykowski and Osborne.
Osborne making a move on Dykowski. Those two are going rail to rail. Osborne putting it down. Wow, Dylan Osborne on fire out here.
They were battling it out on the right side of that course.
I don't know what was going on with Dykowski. He was out front, then suddenly he wasn't, then he was out back. What is going on? Troy Snyder. Osborne in second, and Dykowski in third. So let's just go through some numbers here. Jeff Dykowski, 58, soon to be 59 years old, if I heard you properly earlier.
Absolutely. He only has 1 day left of 58.
Troy Snyder, 45 years old. He's out front right now. Dylan Osborne, 25 years old. He's like half the age, less than half the age of Dykowski.
Yeah,
if I'm Jeff Dykowski, I'm saying, hey, respect your elders. Move over, young man. Dylan Osborne, far left-hand side of the track, doing the job. He's trying to catch Troy Snyder. Snyder going wide. Got an interesting line off of that. Snyder definitely backing down, trying to save that boat. He had issues all day trying to keep that thing together for the rest of this moto. You never know what'll happen.
Well, we've definitely had an amazing weekend right down to the last race.
I'll tell you what. It's been an exciting time. It's been an exciting weekend. Started out with lightning on Thursday as they're trying to set up the course. All kinds of Mother Nature problems. Our crack team gets it together, puts it up, and it was ready to go on Friday, looking great. Big shout out to everybody at Heyday Wake Folks. Thank you so much for sponsoring the Pro Watercross Tour. And of course, we're always, as always, presented by Broward Motorsports, Sam Nemi and crew. Thank you. Shark Energy helped keep me awake half the day. U.S. Army, I'm telling you, U.S. Army, thank you so much for everything you do. Not so much for of course, for our sponsorship, but for what you do worldwide.
Absolutely.
Yamaha, Sea-Doo, Jet Trim, Scat Track, Wattcon.com, and HydroTurf.
What?
Exactly. That whack.
Our live web streaming brought to you by Charleston, West Virginia.
An entire city is doing this for you.
Absolutely. Big thanks to the Lewisville Convention and Visitors Bureau. Deep roots, broad wings, bright future.
All right, and finally, and not last, want to give a big thanks out to all the volunteers that were inducted at the U.S. Army Lewisville through U.S. Army Lewisville recruiting right here on site yesterday. That was a great sight to see, and we thank all of our new recruits.
Yes, beautiful sight. And if you're inspired to do the same, the age range is only 17 to 35 with a $40,000 sign-up bonus.
All right, so Troy Snyder continuing to lead. Dylan Osborne starting to reel Troy in, to be honest. He's getting closer and closer. And Jeff Dykowski, you know when I was talking to you about your elbows falling? Watch Jeff Dykowski right now. Watch his head as it kind of bobbles on there. Okay, and I'm not making fun at all. The guy's 59 years old tomorrow. What a special person to be out there racing at this kind of competitive level. He's doing a great job out there. Troy Snyder continuing to lead. Dylan Osborne starts to reel him in at the end of the straightaway. Now, Troy at different times looked like this boat was hooking up and shooting forward, and other times, not quite so much. Osborne, I'm wondering if maybe he shouldn't try the other side of the split course. All right, Troy Snyder continuing to battle out there. Dylan Osborne right behind him, and Jeff Dykowski trying to stay on long enough to come in and get the paddles. Boy, you can hear the great music behind us over there. Hopefully they'll be rolling when we shut this thing down.
Yep, and they still have all the attractions for the kids open behind us. They have a climbing wall and the bounce house, and I forgot to ride the bull. Might have time right after.
So many things to say, so little time. Troy Snyder coming across still. Get the cross flags halfway down, halfway to go. Dylan Osborne still in that second position. Let's look at some numbers here. Troy Snyder would get the overall if he were to stay in that position, and Dykowski to finish third.
And there they are on the back straight, 1, 2, 3.
Troy Snyder, pull that trigger one more time down this front straightaway. Dylan Osborne, 20 years younger, just wait for the old man to falter.
Try 30. 30 years.
25 from 45 would be 20.
Oh, I'm looking at Jeff's.
I know.
We got a nice spread in age.
Yeah, crazy.
As they come around in front, is Osborne starting to catch up? Troy better keep on that throttle.
Keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on. Keep that hammer down. And every so often you can hear when the boats hit one of those swells or one of those rollers. Keeps you reminded how rough it really is out there, even though it doesn't really look like it from up here.
Yeah, well, you can see little white caps coming off there, and boy, it looks like Dylan Osborne is starting to reel in Troy Snyder just a little bit. Jeff Dykowski, you know what? He is not slowing down. If anything, he's maybe starting to reel in Osborne just a little. Snyder, one more time, down the front straightaway. And here comes Osborne on the pace. Look at this. Dylan Osborne may have made the decision to try and make his push for the front right now.
Yeah, he may have been bottling up some energy, making sure he had enough to finish out the race, making the decision to go ahead and expend the rest of that energy for the final few laps.
All right, Snyder, Osborne, Dykowski. And look at that. Osborne is definitely reeling in Snyder at the end of that straightaway. Snyder's boat is definitely set up for acceleration between the boys, though. You can see it because he can just like jump away. But in top speed, I think Osborne might have a little bit of an advantage. 2 laps to go, says our starter, Norton Yee. So what's the race strategy with 2 laps to go?
I think the race strategy would be to go for it because you're running out of time.
WFO, you know what that stands for? Wide, full, open.
Ooh.
That's where you want to keep that throttle for the next couple of laps.
Unless, of course, you're in a real tight corner. Absolutely beautiful water, though. Lewisville Lake. Enjoying the park, enjoying the lake. Amazing city. Don't you find the people here are extremely friendly?
Absolutely. We had a couple of very expensive items that were lost, and people returned them right away. No hesitation. White flag, final lap to go. Troy Snyder looking for the win. Dylan Osborne looking to kick him to the back. And Jeff Dykowski looking to survive the weekend at 59.
Well, if you've enjoyed yourself this weekend with so many incredible special events, entertainment, and activities to enjoy in our destination, what's the best way to stay informed so you don't miss a thing?
I'd say go to the Reno Tahoe e-newsletter. Go to visit renotahoe.com to sign up. So I just did the points real quick, and if it finishes like the way it looks it will, overall, Troy Snyder will be our winner. Second position, Jeff Dykowski. Third, Dylan Osborne. Folks, put your hands together. Troy Snyder with a moto win. Dylan Osborne, the great second ride. And Jeff Dykowski, the old man who just will not quit.
Very nice finish. Pretty close together, too, after all those laps.
Well, check it out. As of, with my math, Troy Snyder should be the overall winner.
Every team trains hard. Every team prepares to win. But when U.S. Army soldiers take the field, it's best if the other guys don't bother showing up. See if you have what it takes at GoArmy.com/team.
Now that you've got your eye on the ideal heyday model, let's talk about how to enjoy the ideal wake surfing wave. Before you start, you'll need 4 things: a Coast Guard approved life vest, a surf tow rope, meaning one with a small loop handle that won't get caught on anything, a wake surfboard, and a spotter, or use the standard convex mirror on your heyday. Next, you'll need to determine which way to pitch the boat with your ballast tanks. This will depend on your dominant foot. If your dominant foot is your left, you ride what is called normal with your left foot forward, and you'll load the left or port side ballast and ride on the left side of the boat. If your dominant foot is your right, you ride what's called goofy foot. This means you'll tip the boat right or starboard and ride on the right side with your right foot forward. Then, set the boat speed to between 10 and 11 miles per hour so you create a nice wall of solid, clean water. Some call it the green water, as it takes on a greenish hue when in a good curl. Just think clean and green. You'll know it when you see it. Once that's dialed in, shut down the engine and have the rider enter the water. The rider should place their heels shoulder width apart on the board, which is floating in front of them with their back foot on the step pad. When the boat starts to pull you, don't fight it. The board should pop up and stick to your feet. Distribute your weight in the center of the board with even pressure on both feet. Bend your knees and stand up. Keep the handle at hip height and your arms straight. This keeps the force of the boat's pull in the center of your body so you don't get pulled over. Look at the boat, not down. And don't worry about throwing the rope if you're just learning. There's a time for that. In fact, once you're up, let the boat pull you if you're just learning. This is a good time to practice carving. Once comfortable, move to the shoulder of the wave. You'll notice that pressure on your front foot accelerates you and pressure on your back foot slows you down. Put simply, your front foot is the gas, your back foot is the brake. Once you're able to navigate to the surf pocket, you'll feel the wave begin to push you, and you stop being pulled by the boat. That's when you're in the clean and green. Once you feel slack in the rope for 10 to 15 seconds, you can try throwing the rope. And in the beginning, don't worry about throwing it into the boat. This can be distracting, can make you lose your balance and fall or face plant. Just toss it to the opposite side of the wave where it's out of your way and out of your mind. Then, it's all about getting comfortable back there. Do this a few times and you'll be ripping the curl in no time. So now that you know how to enjoy a heyday wake surf wave, start making some of your own. Visit heydaywakeboats.com to locate a dealer near you for more information.
All right, welcome back to the live stream. We're going to wrap it up here today. My name is Kurt Golenberg. It's been my pleasure to be announcing.
I'm Rosie Bada, and it's been a pleasure being here in Lewisville, Texas.
Tell you what, all of our thanks go out, a lot of thanks go out to, of course, the Lewisville Convention and Visitors Bureau, the U.S. Army, Lewisville Recruiting. They've been fantastic here. Before we get off air, though, I want to put a big shout out for Richard Ignacio. We call him Maverick. Livestreaming247.com. If you want to get one of your events on the World Wide Web, he is the #1 person in the U.S. You can find him on Facebook, YouTube, almost anywhere that you see personal watercraft racing, you're going to find Maverick. And of course, we want to thank Charleston, West Virginia. They're sponsoring the live stream for the whole tour. What a great job. They're going to be a stop for us. I can't wait to get there. What a beautiful city. I don't know. What do you want to say, Rose? It was a great weekend of racing. Who should we be thanking?
We should definitely be thanking our Heyday Wake Boats. They've been out here all weekend giving out rides, giving out TVs. Our ProWatercross.com is our national tour here, which is title sponsored by Heyday. We also want to thank Broward Motorsports, Shark Energy, U.S. Army, Yamaha, Sea-Doo, Jet Trim, Scat Track.
Yeah, big shout out to Caitlin Riley, who gave us the national anthem. What a phenomenal national anthem today. That was spectacular. And as usual, all of the crew from Pro Watercross, you know, Nick and AJ, Jennifer, Rob, Drake, John Bonkowski on the water. They've been helpful. Norm Yee, the master of disaster out there, who's got the flag tower all week long, and a whole host of volunteers that came out to help us. And what kind of race announcer would I be if I didn't thank the racers? We had some great racing here this weekend. We had some great sportsmanship, you know, people really helping out each other. And what a joy to be on this tour. I am looking forward to seeing you again in Reno, Nevada next weekend for round 4 of the Heyday Wake Boats Pro Watercross National Tour presented by Broward Motorsports. I'm Kurt Nolenberg.
I'm Rosie Bada.
We are out of here.